infrastructure historically has recruited a lot of engineers. And if you look in, for example, the UK or North America, the percentage of engineers that you have that are female is probably 13 to 20%. So there's already a gender issue. If you look at the number of engineers who graduate from university and don't go into engineering, that's also quite a high number. When we've surveyed senior leaders, they've said, well, of course, what people want is to be working on the best projects. And it's the quality of the projects that count and attracts people. What infrastructure provides are things that matter to millions of people the world over. And sometimes, actually, it's not about the money. It's actually about the purpose and the sense of good that can be created. And I think that's a real opportunity that sometimes infrastructure is missing.
The industry, I think, in my experience, has a challenge in looking at talent in different ways. One thing we found when we speak to leaders from the infrastructure sector is that there is an instinctive appetite to hire people from outside of the sector and to bring in new skills and fresh ways of thinking. But there is an immediate reaction. If you're not from the industry, you won't be able to pick it up. And it's the learning curve is very steep. I think this is really driven by the mindset of leaders from the industry who very often have spent their entire careers in a company, in an asset class, or in the sector. It's true that for some roles, the asset experience and asset expertise is very important. So when we recruit for project directors or technical directors for infrastructure companies, it does help a lot to have the experience in the particular sector. But when it comes to more general management type roles or CEO or program management type roles, the technical ability is not so much a driver of performance, other than more than the leadership and the soft skills that we are going to be required from the leader.
We did a survey and it said that the feedback that we had from over 100 infrastructure leaders worldwide, and more than 60% of them are saying that we should be bringing in more talent from the outside. And I think if you think about it, in developed and developing markets, infrastructure is going to become even more busy. I think people who are recruiting into those industries need to be looking outside. Where might they look? I think they have to look in parallel industries where they're regulated, where you've got large capital assets, you've got long cycle times, for example. You might look in aerospace, you might look in oil and gas, you might look in automotive. We've actually taken leaders from those types of sectors and brought them into the infrastructure sector.